You found the deal, you ran the numbers, your offer was accepted. Congratulations. What do you do now? Now comes the most intimidating part of the process, and that is getting to the closing table. This is where you're going to grab a pen and sign on the dotted line and actually close and purchase your first or maybe next investment property. It's a big move and it's going to create wealth for you. You have to have a long-term mindset, but it's probably a little bit unnerving if you're going through it for the first time. So what I'm going to do in this video is go over the 7 steps to go from offer to close. This is step 4 of a 5-part roadmap that I put together to help you buy your first or next rental property in 2026. And if you want to invest in real estate in 2026, hit that like button. For most beginners, the closing process is a complete white box. You feel like you're walking around not knowing what to expect next. You get sent a mountain of documents and a mountain of forms to fill out from an underwriter that you don't even know. You're going to get asked to produce things that you didn't know you had. You're going to get asked to send over bank statements and social security numbers and a ton of different things. This uncertainty can lead to a lot of stress. Best case scenario and worst case scenario, it can lead to you not closing on the property. But if you don't close on the property, you don't create any wealth or make any money. All right, now let's go over the 7-step roadmap that's going to help you get deals to the closing table. Step 1 actually comes before you actually get the property under contract, and that's getting pre-approved for the financing to purchase the property. You can get approval from a private money lender by simply getting a guidance limit of how much money that they're willing to lend you, so you know that your purchase and your rehab is going to be less than they're willing to lend you. Or with a hard money lender, you can get a simple pre-approval letter. Well, they will approve you up to a certain amount. For example, they might say that they will approve you for a $350,000 loan. Now they're going to want to underwrite the property. They're not just going to blindly give you money for any property, but you at least know a guidance limit that you can go after properties that are under $350,000. Private lenders aren't going to want your credit or your history or anything like that, but hard money lenders will probably do a soft credit pull, if not a hard credit pull, to confirm some credit and confirm some income so that they can move forward with the loan once you buy that property. Step 2 is when the offer is accepted and escrow begins. Once your offer is accepted, you will send in an earnest money deposit or EMD to the title company. Depending on what state you're in, it may go through a real estate lawyer first or a title company. Either way, someone will reach out to you who's going to actually help you close the property, and they're going to want that earnest money deposit. Now that is usually a small amount, $500, $1,000, or maybe 1% or 2% of the purchase price of the property. Don't get too overly concerned with this. You will get this money back assuming you act in good faith in the contract if it doesn't close for some reason out of your control. So don't worry, this is just out of your pocket or out of your lender's pocket for a short period of time before we decide if we're going to move forward with the contract. Then it will be applied to the loan, or we have to back out of the contract for some unforeseen circumstances and you get it back. So don't worry. This just goes to a neutral third party to confirm that you're going to actually intend to purchase the property and you're not going to back out for no reason. Step 3 is the inspection and negotiation process. If you're inexperienced, you should hire a home inspector or get an experienced investor into the property to look at everything and confirm that the conditions of the things that you can see and can't see are in good enough condition. For example, the roof. You're probably not going to climb on the roof, but somebody needs to or get close to the roof to confirm its condition and make sure it's got 10 years left, 20 years left, or if it needs to be replaced, you need to know that. Additionally, an inspector will crawl in the basement or crawl space, get up in the attic and look at the electric and look at the windows, and basically they're the expert. They're going to look at everything and make sure there's no material defects in the property. They're going to cause you a ton of money. You could put a bid on a property that gets accepted and everybody just assumes the property is in as-is condition. However, if the roof needs replaced, the HVAC is in bad shape, if there's a crack in the foundation you couldn't see before, or some major problem or defect, you're in the inspection period still, you can renegotiate and say, I was not expecting to spend 10, 20 grand to get this property operational on the things that you didn't tell me or I couldn't see, or you can again back out of the contract if it's that big of a deal and get your EMD money back. Step number 4 is the appraisal day. The financing company will send out a third-party appraiser, meaning the appraiser does not work for you, it does not work for them, that's going to give their unbiased opinion on the value of the the property. That's what needs to happen if you're using a hard money lender or a traditional bank. If you're using a private money lender, you probably won't have the appraisal process happen, so you'll probably have to skip this step. But in general, an institution or a company that's going to be lending you money will want to just do their own due diligence and their own inspection to confirm the condition of the property. They are not going to take your word for it that the property is worth this much and needs this much in repairs. They're going to do their own due diligence to confirm that and make sure they're not lending you $350,000 on a $250,000 property, or they're not lending you money on a property that you think needs 30 grand in repairs when in reality it needs $150,000 in repairs. This is just one of those cover your ass type situations that the lender is going to go through before they give you the money. Step 5 is the underwriting process, and this is that document gauntlet you're going to have to go through, assuming you're not using a private money lender. Underwriting is going to ask you for a ton of stuff, and you're busy. You're at work, you're hanging out with your family, you're relaxing, you're going to soccer games, you got a lot going on. But my number one piece of advice here is get back to them within hours, not days. If you take 2 or 3 days to respond, to ask a question, to get a confirmation, to get a document, closing is going to be pushed back. And while that may not kill the deal, it might. The seller might have to or want to close sooner if you're making a 4-week close, a 6-week close, or 8-week close because you're not getting the documents of the underwriter to fully underwrite the deal and confirm if they're going to fund it or not. That's on you. So get back to them quickly with questions or whatever they're asking for. Everything will go a lot smoother, I promise. Step 6 is the final walkthrough. This is going to happen right before closing. This is where you're going to walk through the property and confirm the condition didn't drastically change. Make sure there wasn't a pipe that exploded or the roof caved in or something drastic happened to the property. Rarely does that happen, but it's good to check the property one last time before you commit to buying it. Step number 7, closing day. You're going to go to the title company and you're going to sign a mountain of documents. You're going to be initialing things and signing things. Definitely make sure to ask your closing agent to confirm things that you don't understand. Now, a lot of this is legal mumbo jumbo, and you honestly can't change any of it at this point, and it's what everybody else signs when they close, but I encourage you to have them just briefly go over what's on each page. Some of the pages will just be legal mumbo jumbo, they'll move on your initial, but some of them will have certain information that you're going to want to probably know, so just ask for a brief explanation as you're signing documents. And this part, no matter who you use, private money lender, hard money lender, or institutional money, you're going to have to sign a crap ton of documents because this is closing on a property and you're legally gaining access and ownership to that property. And that's the process. It will vary with each deal, but generally those are the 7 steps, or at least 5 or 6 of the steps that you're going to have to go through to close on a property, and it's no big deal. It's one of those things that feels bigger than it actually is while you're going through it, but after you've done it a couple of times, it's literally going to be like nothing. I sign on properties all the time, but I mean, it takes 5 minutes and I just sign everything and move on. Obviously, I have a team that confirms everything before I sign, but in general, I promise you it will get easier. It will get less stressful, especially if you understand the process, which you hopefully do now, and you start to do it more, because the more properties you buy, the more wealth you're going to create and the more active income you're going to create. Your homework today is to go get pre-approved from a lender. Find a private money lender, or probably the easier route would be just to go to FasterFreedomCapital.com and have us approve you. You fill out a simple form. We don't do a hard credit pull. My team reaches out and we give you to the best lender, whether you're looking for short-term funding, long-term funding, gap funding, whatever funding you need. Your credit score is 600 or above and you're looking for a $50,000 loan or higher, we can fund you. Make sure to go to FasterFreedomCapital.com and get pre-approved from us so that you can go get started with this process and actually make it happen smoothly. That, and one more thing I'll tell you to do, is to join my free online school community called The Relaunch. There's hundreds of free training videos, tons of connections, resources, everything you need to get the ball rolling if you're serious about real estate. You can just go to school and find it, or you can see it in the description of this video below. I'll see you on the next one.